Okay, hi, so we are now back at normal speed. So this is really just a case of setting up the project. So make sure you choose games. For the purposes of our first person shooter, let's choose first person shooter. So it's just called first person. So it features a player character represented by a pair of arms, which is viewed from first person perspective. Just what we need. So all that's good. We want starter content. We should be able to get some effects out of that. So I'm going to call it YSJ shooter. Let's create the project. Okay. So here's the first person shooter template. So if I press play, it gives you a little gun and you can fire out little balls, and these blocks have physics on them. So that actually is making a noise in engine. I just haven't got the sound turned on in the engine. So basically what that is as you can see here, we've got a set of arms with a gun. So I'm presuming the bottom gun is when the character is in the crouch position. And you've got a camera that's just attached to the gun and the hands, so you're just looking over a pair of hands effectively. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a folder for myself called Andy. This is really important that you actually keep your naming conventions nice and clear, because you'll get super confused super quickly. So static meshes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag in these environment pieces. So we've saved these out of Maya as an FBX. So what I'm going to do is, it's also usually good to keep a levels folder so you can save out your own levels, but in this case we're just going to use this actual level. So that's the sound for the gun. So I'm just going to go up to the top window, drag in my FBXs. Okay, here they are. Yeah, so I've just exported as an FBX, just save selection. Just leave it as the defaults. Okay, so let's just import all of those. So these little tiny molecular pieces over here are actually the environment pieces I created in Maya. I'm not entirely sure why the scale is so far off, but either I haven't ticked something, or this is a common mistake and you need to change the scale as you're outputting from Maya. But anyways, all I'm going to do is go over to the detail section of the object and just change the scale to 100 in all the axes, and then if we fly around the front, so what it's done as well is it's brought all of them in as one it's brought in separate components of the same object, so we can select each of these with their own independent pivot points, I believe. Okay, so if we play now, we can fire bullets at it, and it's got collision on it. It's got auto collision. But if we look up at the top there, so this is a bit irritating, because I was assuming that collision would kind of give us complex collision would allow us to kind of walk into that door. We don't need to, but so you'll see it's also quite glossy. So let's just double click on the texture over here, the material, which brings up the material window. Now I'm relatively new to Unreal, so this is, so basically I know that roughness equates to smoothness on your model. So what I'm bringing in there is I'm just bringing in a constant number. I'm not sure if this is correct or not. What I do know is that I just want to apply a constant number to the roughness so that it isn't shiny. So if roughness is at 0, it is shiny. So I haven't actually selected the correct texture there. So I'll just go in and fix this one. Again, it's brought in the texture sample. We just need to add a constant, so let's just change that to 1. So all I'm doing is I'm right clicking and just typing CON, and it's bringing up constant, which is just a constant value, material expression constant. Not sure if I'm doing something really badly wrong there, but it works, and so that's my motto in game development: if it works, stick with it. Okay. Okay, so no longer shiny, which is good. So we can see now I've just corrected all the textures to make them unshiny. Still can't get in there, so I might need to have a look at fixing that. If I was going to fix the collision there, I'd effectively just turn off collision, add some boxes to it, and then turn off visibility on the boxes, or stop them from rendering, and then you still have the box collision, and I could just create my own collision with boxes and attach it to the object. So I'm actually looking at the collision here. Again, this is sort of molecular size. I don't understand, a little bit irritating. So I'm just going to look up at the collision part of the menu up here. Yeah. So I'm assuming that if I increase the collision values, it's going to increase the complexity, but it doesn't seem to be bothering with that. You'll note, of course, that it's given it depth because of the fact that the doorway goes inwards, so it's kind of made it, in a way, a kind of almost a cylindrical collision. So again, like I was saying, so what really the old school way that we used to do it is you would just effectively add some boxes that would kind of outline the shape, and then you would turn off the rendering on the boxes, and then you would attach the boxes to the facade object, and then consequently you've made your own collision, really. Don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so it's not firing if you get too close to it, but okay. Okay, so next up, so I'm just really, well, there's plenty of assets on the marketplace and in the Unreal Store. So the actual ones within the standard assets, as we can see, I've just searched down in the filters there where my mouse is flying about, and there's not any in the starter content. So I'm just going to try, I've gone to Turbo Squid, I've gone to free, and I've put in doors. So there's basically, I've found this rigged and animated door. I don't need any animations. Just log in. So I'm just importing that. So really, I just want you to have a look at bringing in your own free assets without necessarily going straight to the Unreal Marketplace, where a lot of things are quite expensive. Although Unreal itself, Epic itself, is giving away massive amounts of assets. But obviously you're frequently going to need bespoke models. So again, it's molecular sized, and I've actually dragged in the physics asset, which is pointless because that in itself is untextured. But that's come in as a whole chunk of geo without giving me access just to the door itself. So without going back into Maya and deconstructing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. So I think I'm just going to have a quick look on the Unreal Marketplace. Okay, so the Unreal Marketplace kind of spawns in the Epic launcher. I'm not sure whether you get access to this on your computers. So again, you see, we're looking down here at there's quite a lot of doors. Industrial door pack, £7.35, so not hugely expensive. But so again, you've got a lot of assets that are available there. Sometimes you do need to buy assets, so I've effectively bought this door, which is £2. So I don't mind paying for assets, but sometimes you do have to buy them. So this is really just a case of showing you what to do. So this has actually got a normal map with it as well. So what I'll do is I'll just drag the we've got the material window open. Just going to drag the normal map in. So normals is obviously kind of like a bump map, but this is the it's kind of giving depth to your model. It's faking depth really by pretending that there's geometrical displacement, I suppose is what you would say. Okay, and I've also just going to put in the roughness again, so I don't actually need it to be fully flat because it's a metal door. So what I mean is it doesn't need to be fully matte. Because it's a metal door, so it will obviously be slightly shiny. So I'm just trying to show the normal map there. It should look as if it's got a bit of depth. You can't really see though because I've turned the roughness down. So I'm just going to take that over to 0.5. just change the roughness to 0.5 and let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of looks as if it has got a little bit of depth there. Shoot it. So what you got to do? Okay,